Hey Chet's parents, I just want to give you a heads up about what we're talking about in Chet Students this weekend. As you may already know, we're in this series called Meant to Be because it's February and we all know love is in the air. Well, at least for some of your students, maybe. And I know what some of you are thinking, it's just puppy love, but you got to remember, puppy love feels like real love to puppies. And so this Sunday, we're talking about a subject that, believe it or not, the Bible doesn't even mention by name, but it does mean that there's some truth and wisdom in the Bible that can help us with this subject. And that subject is the topic of dating. Now, for some of you that have a middle schooler or a freshman, you're probably thinking, this subject doesn't even apply to my student. Here's the deal. Our philosophy is to be a proactive student ministry. In other words, we want to talk about these topics before they actually maybe manifest themselves in your student's life. We know that your seventh grader isn't probably going on many dates unless they're maybe figured out a way to pick up their crush on their hoverboard, glide on down to CC's, have a little buffet, and do a Redbox movie, because that's pretty much the middle schooler's budget. But here's the deal, parents. What we want you to know is that we want to talk about this subject because it's so important for high schoolers. It's a reality that's all around them. And as a middle schooler, it's a reality that's coming. And the problem is there's a ton of opinions about what dating should be about. And we're coming at it from a standpoint that eventually in a student's life, most likely dating is gonna be allowed, but that doesn't always make it good for them. And in life group, they're gonna talk about what the world thinks the purpose of dating is, and maybe what God's purpose in dating might be. And that dating is more than just having some fun and getting to know people. That we believe the ultimate purpose behind dating is to eventually find a partner, that the end result really is marriage. Now, I know that sounds a little extreme, and we're not saying that your students should be ready to date and then start saving up for an engagement ring or wedding plans and all those things. We're saying the idea behind this point of view is to help students begin to think with the end result in mind before they ever start down the dating journey. And the reason for that is that it helps them be more careful and more selective in who they choose to start dating. And when they do date, we want them to focus on building their relationship with Jesus and with other people, to date in groups, to set the right boundaries, and of course, always date a Jesus follower. Now, just to be clear, we're not promoting dating to your students. It's just we know if they're going to start going down this road someday, they need to have a clear purpose behind what they're doing. And so if they're at the Hodges campus when we have student worship, we're going to take it a little bit further, and we're going to talk about what does it mean to even be dating ready by answering two major questions. Who do I love the most, and do I have accountability in community? We know this is a tricky subject, but we hope that it's going to generate some great conversations between you and your student, and we look forward to seeing what's going to happen when you have a good convo at lunch on Sunday. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you Sunday.